Billy Connolly is the riotous Scottish comedian and actor.
Oh.
The riotous Billy Connolly, who's been breaking up American audiences in motion pictures and on TV. His newest film is the hit comedy called The Imposter. It's a pleasure to welcome Billy back to our little chair here at CBS. And people wait for your appearance here. You have many, many fans that love to see you in action when you join us. Yeah. You know, I've never asked you about your tattoo before.
Oh, yeah,
No.
That was it's a wee banjo.
Yeah, it's very, very tiny, but I noticed that the last time you're here, it's a banjo.
It's a banjo, yeah. It's a wee I play old-time American banjo, Appalachian mountain music. And that's my hobby. That's what I love to do. And I've done it for about 30 years. I'm not as good as I should be after 30 years, but I love doing it. And when I became 50, 5 years ago, that was my present.
Took the plunge, huh?
To myself.
Yeah.
I said I should get a tattoo before I'm too old. So I got it on my hand. And a week later, I went to a guy in the valley, Cliff Cadaver. Is it Cliff? Cadaver's his name anyway.
Really?
And he pierced my nipples.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have them anymore.
Well.
I had 2 nipple rings, and it was lovely. When I went to get it, he said, why did you want to do it? And I said, well, I used to be rebellious and a hippie and earrings and all that. And then I saw a traffic warden with earrings, you know, a parking guy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I thought, oh, it's over.
Oh, football players wear them, baseball players, everybody, yeah.
That's finished now.
But how about when they pierce the old nip? Does that hurt?
Oh, my God, it's painful.
Yeah.
And I think he does the sexy one. Some people use anesthetic, you know, but but the guys who do it for sexy reasons, they like to straight through, right? Just as I think, oh my God, it's like
no, it hurts.
I'm waiting for Gabriel's horn.
Yeah,
it's just,
I remember one time talking to a security guard who would escort people off stage if they would jump up on stage at a rock concert.
Yes.
And they grab you, male or female, right by the nipple and squeeze as hard as they can, and you go right with them because it's
really
very, very
tender.
painful. Yeah. Yeah,
but
I've learned through the years that the nipple is a very sensitive area.
Very sensitive. The second most, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And
one would hope.
You know, people get them pierced too.
Oh, I understand, yeah.
Oh, the very thought. But anyway, every year I moved up a gauge in thickness.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what you do when you're pierced. You see, you move, every year you get a thicker one.
Okay, so it
they
widens.
were really quite, after 5 years they were looking good. And I had to do a naked swimming sequence.
Oh, in Mrs. Brown.
Mrs. Brown.
Yeah.
So I couldn't wear the things, although it's rumoured that Prince Albert had a pierced penis.
That's why they call it a Prince Albert.
That's why it's called it. So anyway, I did the thing. I took the nipple rings out.
Can you imagine a King George?
Dinner's ready, man. But I swam without my rings. My nipples shrank, and I didn't have the little wee rings with me to put in, and
so
I couldn't get them back in.
They've closed
so I thought,
up.
I've been there, done that. 5 years. That's enough. So, but I'm still in the Hall of Fame in the piercer's shop. He's got a little Hall of Fame of pierced people.
With Love You Cadaver.
Yeah, Love You.
Billy.
Cadaver, he's like...
Deadly.
He's got wind chimes hanging from it. And, oh.
Now, the last time that you were here, we talked about your service, remember, in the parachute regiment.
Yes.
We talked about how you jumped out of the plane and how one guy didn't want to go. But we never talked about something that I've been told to ask you about called the Dance of the Flames.
Oh,
as I will put it.
Well, the full title is The Dance of the Flaming Ass.
Well, you see,
yeah.
See, here at CBS, we take the shorter titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you stand on a table. I did it in a place called Otterburn. There was 3 regiments in this huge shed, and the guys dared me, and I got up, and you twist a newspaper, and you stick
insert it, yes. Insert it, yeah.
Yes, you put it in your back.
We got it.
And you pull your trousers down, of course.
Yeah.
And you get this, and they set fire to each of them, the 2 newspapers.
What a party.
And you do this thing, and the guys do that song, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. And you do this
Tie 'em in a knot. Yeah.
It's all those weird words.
Yeah.
And the girls in France take the knickers down and dance was the thing. And the flame's getting closer and closer to
the old bum, yeah.
To the whole affair. And the guy who wins is the guy who stops it when the flames are nearest to the family jewels, you see. And I won.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I was sadly and badly scorched, but I won. Yeah. And I was immensely proud of it.
Now, and I've never asked you about the military background of kilts. Kilts were originally worn as military garb.
Of course. Yeah. Well, the kilt is called a filibeg. That's the short kilt.
Right.
It's descended from a called, which is a huge piece of tweed that goes round and round you, over your shoulders, or your head, if you like, and then it's all held together by a belt. So this thing can become a tent, a sleeping bag, it can be a bag to carry stuff. It's multi-purpose, depending on how you fold it.
It has real use.
It can keep you warm at night,
Sure.
it can save you in a storm. So it's far too heavy to fight in, especially when it's wet. You know, you might be waylaid on the road. So you unloosen the belt, let the whole thing fall, and you fight naked.
Oh, really?
Celtic men always fought naked, and they were blue. They rubbed woad plants, it's a berry and heather together, and they were purpley blue. So it must have been like really weird for Romans and stuff going to fight, and these blue men with red hair running naked at them.
Did they ever do the newspaper thing in battle, you know, to kind of light the way?
Oh, yeah, at night. Walk backwards, Angus, right. I can't see a thing
and then there's the old
By the light of Angus's testicle, I can see Inverness. Angus, I can see your house from here. Yeah.
That ain't the way I heard it. And then there's the old gag that the girls would always ask, what do the Scotsmen wear under their kilts, right?
You see, that's the reason. I meant to get to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you don't wear anything under... Well, today people say, a true Scot doesn't wear anything under the kilt.
Right.
The thing is, military, all the people who wore kilts in the Highland Light Infantry, the Black Watch, all these regiments, weren't allowed to wear underwear because of that, because the original Scots fought naked. So that's what you didn't wear underwear. And they had a wee mirror at the guardhouse.
Oh, really?
And you had to stand at ease and go, right, fine, on you go. You know, or a mirror on a stick, right? But dancers always wore them. The Highland dancers.
Oh, sure,
so the kilts flying up and the Queen's watching, you know, your big ass in front of, you know, you can't do that. But the whole tartan thing is so mythological, you know. You see, original tartans were like camouflage on a hillside. They were all brown, green, blue, purple.
Oh, so they weren't like yellow and bright reds. Now you see tartans, they're bright colors.
Now, do you know what these are the invention of two Polish brothers in Inverness?
Oh, really?
In Victorian times. And I'm sure they were Jewish. They say Polish brothers, you know, because they think, I mean, it'd be a real joke if they were two Jewish guys. I mean, I think they should broadcast it to the heavens. But all those royal tartans, like Royal Stewart, screaming red, or Buchanan, the big bright yellow, that's nonsense.
Yeah, well, you see people bringing them back as souvenirs when they come back from the old country.
I mean, I wear one, and mine's pink. It's McLean, it's my mother's tartan, it's kind of pinky orange. I mean, a deer on the hillside would say, what the hell's that? 5 miles away. What are these guys, a big yellow skirt, square silver buttons. You know, velvet jacket, a big feather. Oh, give me a break, you know. Get the old thing on. But you know, the old-fashioned kilt is becoming popular again with young guys. And it's short at the front and down to the ground at the back. And this, you know, the one that they used to wrap themselves in.
Oh, sure.
That's becoming really popular again, which is really weird, you know.
Let me take a little break here. We're chatting with Billy Connolly, who's currently seen in the Impostors at theaters all across America. We'll be right back after this short break.
He did. He could do it with his bum.
Yeah. And by the way, the most popular performer, as we know, in all of France during his time.
Yes, the highest paid entertainer of his time.
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wowed his audiences.
Yes.
They came from near and far to see him make a little boat sail through the water.
A rectal yodeler.
Rectally generated smoke rings? Huh?
Absolutely. What are we doing?
You know, I've got a film made by an Italian studio many, many years ago, and I think one of the men...
I thought he was... Oh, yeah, it was made about him.
About him. And as a little boy, they showed him his mother trying to make him not pass gas, and he would say, but Mama, and he went on to become famous because of the ability to generate flatulence at will.
Oh.
And his closing act, as I told you, he would sit in a tub of water, a glass tub of water on stage, fully clothed, no nudity.
Yeah.
And when he stood up, the tub was empty. He inhaled the water rectally, made a quick exit.
Well, I heard that he did that before the show as well. He sort of inhaled with his bum this water and then put it out again, and there was a smell. But thereafter, there was no smell from his farting.
True.
When he was on stage.
Think of it as...
It's a lot of noise.
A lot of noise. music, though. The man played beautiful. In fact, I have this film.
I am hooked on farting. I don't fart any more than anybody else, but I love.
How do you know?
on the Impostors, one of the actresses brought it's a fart machine. It's a sort of a glass with, it looks like putty in it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I got one of those.
And you shove your fingers in it. And it's fantastically funny.
Yeah.
And one of the actresses was complaining that, because we were smoking cigars in our dressing room, you know, Oliver Platt and everybody, we're all blowing away there. And the smoke was going through the ventilator, and so this old actress was complaining, until we went in with the farting machine, and Ollie stuck his bum in her door, did this, and she screamed with laughter, and thereafter we could smoke away.
Oh,
we could do no wrong. And you know Steve Buscemi, he looks like a serial killer, you know.
Yeah.
People avoid him in the street like he's going to kidnap their children, you know. He's got that look. But he's actually a screamingly funny man. But we're all trying to do the best farts, you know. And I was trying to do those walking ones.
They're tough. They're very, very tough. And you got to be you got to be careful.
The wee ones, the wee. And I could never get it right. But he was doing the splits in midair.
Ah.
He would run and go. And normally the director would say, "Oh, for God, right, okay, it was funny the first time, lads. Let's get back to it. Let's remember why we're here. Why we're paying you the big bucks." But no, Stanley Tucci's got a machine of his own. He was joining in. It was the most joyful experience.
Yeah. Did you ever light them?
I've never lit them, but I had a roadie who was brilliant. I've tried, but I can't fart just at will. I would love to be able to do that. And I can't raise one eyebrow. It's two things I'd love to be able to do.
All the things we wish for.
Because just think how nice it would be to do both. You know, with that flying into the air. Yeah, but I can't do it. But no, I can't.
Well, you know, I read a story the other day. The viewer sent me a story about a lady who was in a restaurant waiting for her date to arrive. And all of a sudden, just without warning, she let one go. And she was very embarrassed. The entire restaurant heard it, and she said to the waiter, "Stop that." He says, "Lady, which way is it heading?"
But you know, it's supposed to be true that at the coronation, the Queen Mother was sitting beside the King of Tonga.
Yeah.
That's right. And the horse farted in one of those carriages. And the Queen Mother says to the King of Tonga, "I'm sorry." And he said, "Oh, I thought it was the horse."
Okay, all right, okay. Time. Now, let's remember why...
That annoys me. People think they're childish. They're not childish jokes. They're funny. It's vulgar. Chaucer, Milton, they knew about stuff like that.
All right, now let's not forget why we're here.
Let's not... Why are we here?
I don't know. Anyway, on my last show, I'm going to bring the tape in here of this Pétomane and show you good folks.
You must. A hero. A long-forgotten hero.
When they speak that way, they speak to the world, don't they?
You bet.
Here is Diane, who really wants to come on now, right? Yeah. Come on in, Diana. The water's fine. Hello.
The water's funny.
Are you laughing, Di?
I'm hilariously laughing.
Good. This is Diana in Kalamazoo, who's on the air with us.
Oh, Kalamazoo?
Yeah, Kalamazoo.
You're great.
My guitar was made in Kalamazoo. I'm sorry.
I'm going to miss you, Tom, when you leave.
Thank you.
I've loved you for years.
Thank you, ma'am.
Billy, you're hilarious. I can't do both, but I can raise one eyebrow.
Oh, I envy you so much. Well, I'll practice the other bit.
What do you think of the Clinton Monica Lewinsky affair?
I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And he's my hero. He's an absolute hero. You see, what Americans don't understand is because you're a young country, by comparison. See, I come from Britain. We've had royal families for thousands of years. There's mad people. There's babies buried in the woods. Kings chopping people's heads off. A little bit of fun in the Oval Office is nothing. It's like a parking ticket to us.
England's had affairs for years.
Oh, but affairs! You don't know
They've
the
had-
half of it. Presidents
They've
have
had scandals.
I think he's a great guy, a smashing president, and I don't think it's a scandal at all.
Clinton's a good president.
I couldn't agree more.
His own private life.
Yeah.
Now, wait, what Diana, I didn't hear your take. What's your take on this thing now?
Clinton's a great president. I mean, he's done good things.
Yes, he
He's
has.
made mistakes.
Yes, he has. He just made
But
a dumb
if he was Joe Smith on the corner and he did the same things, who'd care?
I agree with you 100%.
It's the moral bandwagon
But
jumping. I can't
it's funny
stand.
in a way. I mean, he's made mistakes, and it's gotten in the news.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
It's made a lot of people very, very sad.
It is sad.
You know what MSNBC stands for?
No, I don't.
What?
More stuff nobody cares about.
Oh, I love it.
Well, and stuff is not the real word. You catch my drift?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Oh, I love it.
Anyway, Diana, if Clinton's the answer, it was a stupid question, huh?
Tom, don't leave us. We need you.
Ah, Diana, you're very kind, and thanks for joining us tonight.
And thank you.
All right, good
Thanks,
night, young
Diana.
lady.
Good night.
We will continue here. By the way, The Impostors, is this a thriller or a mystery of some
No, it's a farce.
A farce, yeah.
It's a complete farce. It's a very interesting film. It looks like a silent movie, and it looks like Laurel and Hardy, and it looks like a farce. It's Stanley Tucci and Ollie are unemployed and unemployable actors who fall out, who argue and subsequently fall out with Fred Molina, who's a classical actor.
Mm-hmm.
They hide in a crate, which eventually gets put on a luxury liner, and they find they're on the ship with the guy they're trying to avoid. The entire ship is full of idiots, and I'm one of them, and nobody is what they're supposed to be. You know, Isabella Rossellini is supposed to be a queen of some long-forgotten country, but she's actually a complete imposter, and she's looking for her long-lost love, who turns out to be the captain of the ship. I'm supposed to be the tennis instructor. I'm actually a sort of rampant homosexual, you know, just in love with men. I just grab the guys all the time. Nobody is quite what they're supposed to be, and there's people running through doors.
Hence the title, The Impostors.
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody's
There
an
you go.
imposter in the film.
Back with Billy and you on the toll-free after this timeout. Hi, Renee, and welcome to CBS Late Night. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
You guys are having a good time.
Yes, we are, and I hope not at your expense.
Oh, no.
Good.
I've just been enjoying all of it.
Oh, good.
And I want to tell you, you're my favorite host of all time.
You're very kind. Thanks, Renee.
Billy.
Renee.
Billy. Hi.
Hello, Renee.
Hi. I want to tell you how much I loved you as John Brown.
Thank you so much.
I've seen the movie 4 times.
Oh, thank you very. Do you know, Renee? What a woman said to me? It's the weirdest compliment I've ever had. Tonight, I was at a school dinner for my children's school, and a woman said, "I saw Mrs. Brown. You were excellent." And she said, "It's time for you to do Petruchio." And I said, "Oh, really?" And do you know what her next line was? She said, "You've certainly got the trousers for it."
Well,
It's the weirdest. I mean, I don't even know what she meant.
Neither did she.
No, you've
It
certainly
just
got the
sounded good, and you've
trousers.
certainly got the trousers
I'm
for
so
it.
glad, Renee, you enjoyed Mrs. Brown, because I loved making it. It was probably the happiest thing I've ever done.
It was a wonderful film. I just saw it, you know, on video here about a month ago. Truly a wonderful picture.
Yeah, and I think it'll last a long time. And Judi Dench is such an exquisite actress, and I'm not an exquisite actress. But people have often asked me how I got my game up so high. It's when Judy's acting with you, there's nowhere else to go. And I had read a lot of these books that said, don't act, be, you know. So I thought, well, how the hell did you do that? And then suddenly when Judy was doing it to me, I suddenly realized what it was. And so we were being,
Yes, you
know.
were. Yes, you
and
were.
we kind of fell in love.
There's another wonderful picture on a totally different level from Mrs. Brown, which is called Ever After, which Drew Barrymore did, where she played. It's the story of Cinderella.
Oh, she's Cinderella.
Cinderella, and the wicked stepmother is Angelica Houston, and she's over the top. She's just wonderful in the
Yes.
picture. But at the end, the narrator of the film says it's not so important to know that Cinderella and Prince Charming lived happily ever after as it is to know they lived. Huh?
Oh,
They were.
that's nice,
oh,
isn't it?
Billy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Renee.
Billy, I just wanted to tell you, if you were worried about your, how you did with Judi Dench, I was overwhelmed by your performance. I thought you were really on a par with her, and you were very powerful.
Oh,
and
thank you very, very
sometimes you were
much.
very scary. It was cool. I mean, I wonder if there's really a scary part of you.
Oh, you
Because you
better
laugh all the
believe
time.
there is.
There is.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Sinister.
Oh,
Look at you.
I've just done a movie called The Boondock Saints. It's just finished. And go and see me in that. Oh, my God.
You're scary?
Oh, frighten the life out of you. It's wonderful.
Well,
Frighten the life out of me.
Well, I can't wait to see it and the Imposters, but I'll ask you my questions so I won't take up so much time.
sorry.
Oh, you mean we haven't gotten to the question yet?
No, I'm getting there.
Right.
I want to know what you find to be the greatest differences between the Scottish and the Americans.
Optimism. The Americans, the gift they've given to the world is optimism. Americans and Australians they're optimism factories. And I have become a kind of optimism junkie. I can't live without it, and I want it firmly imbued in my children. And in Scotland, we've had centuries and centuries of drizzle and having our bums kicked by people, and having our rainproof boots filled with water in the summer, and it has made negativity a very popular thing. And I think the one huge difference is optimism. The Americans are optimistic, and Scots tend to be pessimistic and tend to talk about things they don't like. Americans will open a conversation about things that they do like,
We do
things
like.
that they love.
Yeah, things that we love. Are you a golfer at all?
No, I'm not. I fish. Therefore I
you wait
don't
till you the
golf.
last time.
Yeah.
The greatest story I heard, I've never been to Scotland, but I have many friends who've gone to golf there because it's the cradle of golf,
holy
right?
ground, yeah.
And there's a course there where the caddies are instructed that if they haven't finished the round in 3 hours, take in the bags. Now, you know, it's all over. If you haven't finished in 3 hours, you're all done. Take in the bags. Renee, I'm glad you called, and thank you for your compliments.
I love you both.
Thanks,
Thank
Renee.
you.
We love you back. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
In closing here, I understand that you're about to start a non-profit beverage company.
Oh, yes.
Billy Connolly's Tea, huh?
Tea. Tickety-boo tea. Tickety-boo is
Tickety-boo.
that's the name of my management company. Peter McDougall, the Scottish writer, I used to say tickety-boo to him to make him laugh, and he wrote a character around that for me, a gangster, and I would say tickety. So we've called it Tickety-boo, and it's completely charitable. It's we have a charity for the children of Indian prostitutes. We've built them a wee
Excuse me?
house. Oh, Indian prostitutes.
The children of Indian prostitutes.
Yeah, the children of Indian
How
prostitutes.
did you happen to pick that particular?
A friend of my manager's was doing it, and he said he was having a real hard time. So I did some concerts, and we built them a house in Bombay. So we have 25 girls in this house. The boys tend to be able to look after themselves, but the girls, being girls, tend to be prey for those guys who look after the pimps and people, who look after prostitutes. So we've whipped them to the side, these kids. We're educating them. The people in the town think they're orphans, or they wouldn't let them in the school, you know. So we're now halfway through a second house, and we're going to build them their own school. So the tea is going to help. So all of the profit will go. I got the idea, of course, from Paul Newman.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
and who does that charity. So mine's 100% charity, except for the guys who like make the boxes and all.
exactly.
They have to be paid.
They
It's
have to
not
be
their
paid,
business. But I don't get nothing. And so I'm dying to do it because I want it to widen, because I'm a great believer in children. I wasn't all that happy as a kid, and I would like... Children's happiness is very, very big with me, you know. The innocence. I think you can judge a society by how well they treat the weakest and the most innocent, you know. And we're not doing all that well, you know, when it comes to looking after the wee ones. So I'd like to do my bit.
Very good, sir.
It's better than putting on a bow tie. You know that display of wealth you do for charity, you know, I'll give 1,000. Yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah,
right.
blah, de blah. It seems a wee bit obscene to me
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well said, sir. I've enjoyed seeing you
Thank you
tonight.
very much. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah, we always have a good time when
We
you come in.
always have a good, and it's because of your Manson interview. Remember I
Oh,
told
yeah,
you?
yeah.
You were the first
Yeah, I
to
was.
interview Manson.
Yeah.
It was one of the best bits of television I ever saw.
It was some night, I'll tell you.
I saw your little lip getting wet.
Man,
Ooh.
sweating like, oh, man, wow. Billy Connolly can currently be seen in The Impostors. Thanks for coming in, my friend.
It's such a pleasure.
We will continue and take a look back at some incredible footage that's been lost until now when historian Douglas Brinkley joins us right after these messages.